Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Let's Max Warframe. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the brand new Prime weapons released just under a week ago, the Soma Prime. Now the Soma Prime is the primed version of an already very effective assault rifle, the Soma. And when I first saw the announcement for the Soma Prime, I was worried. An already top tier weapon being primed had me a bit concerned we were about to see the latest in game beating weapons. But instead, the boosts were a lot more tame than expected, with Digital Extremes obviously aware of the impact of the Bolter Prime, and unwilling to make the same mistake twice. So I can hear you asking, what upgrades did the Soma Prime gain over the standard Soma? Well, firstly it got a damage boost from 10 to 12, slightly buffing all three of the physical damage types of the weapon, however mainly favouring slash, but with puncture just slightly behind. It also gains a double magazine size from 100 of the standard Soma to 200 on the Prime, an absolutely insane boost. In addition to the double magazine size, the Prime also holds about 50% more ammunition, up from 540 to 800. The status chance also gets a slight boost, from 7.5 to 10%. But one of the major changes is to the weapon was the reduction of the spool up time from about 8 rounds to 5, meaning that the rate of fire and the fire output of the Prime is substantially better than its non-prime counterpart. Obviously it keeps a lot of the benefits of the standard weapon. Great critical chance, fantastic critical damage, amazing accuracy that is barely touched by heavy caliber. As you can expect, it does come with a few downsides however. Firstly is that very low base damage. It's very limiting and really means that the only possible build on this weapon is a critical build. Any other build is so ineffective there's literally no point taking the Soma, and you'd be better off with pretty much any other weapon. Another debatable downside of the weapon is the 3-second reload, making it one of the slowest reloading weapons in the game. Although quite frankly you have to take that with a pinch of salt, bearing in mind it has double the ammunition per magazine than pretty much any other weapon in the game. You're going to be reloading less often anyway, so it actually really does balance that out. Now in all honesty, the Soma Prime wasn't too bad to farm, at least from my experience. The parts drop in the following places. The blueprint drops from Tower 2 Defense, the barrel from Tower 4 Interception, the receiver from Tower 2 Survival, and perhaps the most difficult part to obtain, the stock, which drops from Tower 3 Exterminate. Okay, so let's start to move on to modding the Soma Prime. Now we've got 2 V polarities on the weapon already, however through 4 Former we're going to add another 2 Vs and 2 dashes. We have got 5 mods that are going to remain the same between all 3 of our builds. We've got Serration, Split Chamber, we have got Heavy Caliber on here for that extra damage, because that accuracy penalty really doesn't seem to affect the Soma Prime very much at all. And then we're going to go with Point Strike for crit chance, and Vital Sense for crit damage. Now for our build against the Grineer, we're going to go with Stormbringer and Hellfire for radiation damage, and Cryo Rounds, which is, if you're doing a 3 elemental build like I have on here, Cryo Rounds is the best single one to have on here, because it does get a plus to damage against the cloned flesh of the Grineer. So if you're going to do a radiation combo and a single elemental as well, Cryo Rounds is the one to be doing. Now against Corpus, we're going to go with Cryo Rounds and Stormbringer to bring up magnetic damage. Since we don't have much impact on here, we're not going to try and max out our toxin damage, but we are going to put an infected clip on there to help cut through those shields and deal with the fleshier Corpus units. Now because of the way the polarities are, I've had to put Cryo Rounds here and Vital Sense here. It makes absolutely no difference to the way that the elementals work. It's just much more for ease of use than anything else. And against our Void build, we're going to go with Infected Clip and Stormbringer for the corrosive damage, and then we're going to go with Cryo Rounds to deal with the more shielded units in the Void, since again we've got that very low impact damage, so the shielded units really are going to take a bit more damage from that Cryo Rounds than having anything else on there. And against the infested you can always switch out Cryo Rounds for Hellfire for that extra bit of fire damage against the light infested. Okay, and so on to my recommendation as to whether the Soma Prime is worth the effort and the resources needed to max it. And then I'd say it absolutely is worth it. The standard Soma was already one of the top weapons in the game, and any boost to that was always going to make it worth the upgrade. Now, although the increase in damage might seem small, it's still a 20% increase in the damage, and it really is noticeable. The amazing fire rate, magazine size and ammo capacity means that you can fire seemingly forever and never seem to run out of ammunition. Although, much like with any other weapon, spraying ineffectively is still going to run you out of ammo pretty quick. Personally, even though I'm a chronic reloader, mainly because of the FPS games that I've played in the past, I am going to reload fairly often, and in all honesty, I didn't find that 3-second reload to be much of a problem, especially when you think most weapons might have to reload 3 or 4 times before they reach the 200 rounds that the Soma's already got. So purely because of that, it really does soften the blow of that longer reload. Now, in terms of furthering this weapon, and is there anything else you can really do with the build? And honestly, in my opinion, not really. The status chance, even though it was buffed, isn't enough to warrant actually modding for. And due to the already decent fire rate, mods like Vile Acceleration really are not needed on the weapon. One possibility might be that if you are running lower level missions, is to change out one of the elemental mods for Shred. And that can be pretty effective, especially with that punch through. But in all honesty, the weapon is far too focused for any real variation on the build that I've put. And it is a real shame because I love being able to modify a weapon for different situations, but with the Soma Prime, it's far too focused to actually be able to do that. So in essence, low base damage made up for by amazing crit damage, great crit chance and a humongous magazine. The Soma Prime might not have knocked the Bolter Prime off its pedestal of the best primary in the game, but honestly, it's seriously not too far behind. Now I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you who attended the livestream this weekend. We had a lot of fun, got a bunch of stuff done, gave away a ton of stuff. Now as a part of that livestream, we did do the draw for the 75 Platinum code, and the winner is Soskoster, Soskoster. Congratulations. Please send me a message to my YouTube channel and we can sort you out sending that code to you. Now this isn't going to be the last giveaway I do on my channel, guys, so fear not, there will be further chances to win in the future. As always, many thanks for the support you've given me. It means an absolute ton. Have a very Merry Christmas and I shall see you in the next episode.